Hello everyone. Let's discuss the 13th chapter called The Fulfillment of Struggle for Independence. As we had already learned about the India's independence in the last chapter, in the 12th chapter, where we had seen the process of gaining independence, how it got happened and what are the different procedures we followed while getting the independence. But as we all know, Britishers ruled us for more than 200 years, but few parts of our nation are also ruled by other European countries. Like few parts are ruled by the Portuguese or few parts are ruled by the French colonies. So in this way, in 1947 on 15th of August we got independence from Britishers, or we got independence from England, but still there are few territories left where the foreign rulers are still ruling that territory. So in this chapter we will discuss about the situation and condition and what are the changes take place during that time. Even we will discuss about the issues regarding the princely states. If you remember, when the Indian Independence Act was declared by the Britishers, right, at that time they had announced that princely states can be ruled independently, or if they wish they can join to India or Pakistan. So there was not any clear decision for the princely states, and at that time there were more than 600 princely states were in our nation. And you imagine if all the princely states will think about their own self, so our country will be divided not only in three parts but more than 4 or 500 parts. Since we had already seen after the partition, the country was divided into three different parts: the East Pakistan, West Pakistan, and India. Then the issues for the princely states was still there, but very cleverly, very diplomatically, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel convinced the rulers of princely state, and they all merged with India except the three different territories that are the Junagadh, Kashmir, and Hyderabad. So in this topic we will discuss about the issues that arises at that time related to the Junagadh, Hyderabad, and Kashmir. Due to the hard efforts of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, that's why we call him as a man of unity. And on the on to his respect, if you all know, in our country we has the world's largest statue, right, on the name of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and the name of the statue is Statue of Unity. So in this way, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, being the first home minister of our country, he united our nation in a very, you can say, in a good manner. So India became independent, but the struggle for independence was not yet over. Still, there are few territories which needs to be free. There were many princely states in India. These princely states has the right to either merge with India or remain independent. Therefore, the Congress dream of undivided India remained incomplete. Yes, the Congress has thought always to unite the nation, but after the partition of Pakistan in two different parts, East Pakistan and West Pakistan, again there were challenges regarding the princely states. Due to independent princely states, India was going to be fragmented into many parts. What is fragmented? Fragmented means divided. Yes, imagine there were more than 600 princely states. So, how different parts we can see of our nation? The Portuguese and French powers had not withdrawn their control over some parts of India. Even only the Britishers left the nation, but still the French and the Portuguese power are still in our nation. But the country solved this problem very firmly. So, but day by day, year by year, we solved our problem. This chapter will deal with the information of same. So in this chapter we will discuss about the information that how the Portuguese territory or the French territories got free. So let's begin with the integration of princely states in India. What do you mean integration? Integration means coming together. How these princely states came together and what were the different decisions taken at that time for the princely states. There were more than 600 princely states, small and big princely states in India. Due to the influence of non cooperation movement, there was beginning of political awakening among the princely states. As we had seen, the people, the citizen, or you can say the villagers from the princely states also started the movement during the non-cooperation movement or the quit India movement. So they also want their territory should be free. Now no one wants to be under the rule of any king or kingdom. People want complete independence and they want a free government. Prajamandals. Prajamandals, what is Praja? Praja means in Hindi, you can call the citizens as Praja. So there are so many citizens associations has been formed. Prajamandals came to be formed in the princely states. Prajamandal means people organization that work for the interest of the people in the princely states and for securing political rights for them. What are Prajamandals? Prajamandal are the associations that are formed for the welfare of the people to look upon their development and to look upon their needs. In 1927, such Prajamandals came together and formed an All India States People's Conference. Due to it, the movement in princely states got an impetus, and because of it, the movement that had been started at different territories, it got impetus. What a impetus? Impetus means more importance. People are now fighting for their rights in a rigorous way. After the independence of India, the then Home Minister Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel very diplomatically. What we do you mean by diplomatically? Diplomatically means in a very officially way to convince the people or to convince the authority. So at that time, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel played a very important role to bring all the princely states together. He took the rulers of the princely states into confidence and prepared an instrument as accession acceptable to all. What does this mean, the instrument of accession? Instrument of accession is a kind of agreement that was signed between the Indian government and the rulers of princely states. There are so many different conditions and thoughts has been represented so that they all should get agree and they should follow on the same what you can say same page or same basis. So everyone should be considered equal during that time. So this instrument of accession is a kind of agreement that gives an opportunity to the rulers of princely states to join a federal system, to join a federal government. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel convinced the princely rulers the benefit of merging into India. There are so many pros and cons. What are pros? Pros means the benefits, cons means the demerits. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel explained them. If you want to rule independently, then you won't get any support from government. Henceforth, if you need any help from government, then government won't be able to help you. So better you merge with Indian government. And what are the facilities that are provided by the government? Will be able to get it. The rulers have good response to this appeal, and in the same way, the princely rulers gave a good response to this thought. All the princely states merged into India except the state of Junagadh, Hyderabad, and Kashmir. At that time, these three territories are considered as the important territory. Out of that, Hyderabad was the most important territory, and we all know about the Kashmir. So you please underline this. All the princely states merged into India except the state of Junagadh, Hyderabad, and Kashmir. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel took a firm stand, firm means to a strong stand, and solved the issue of merging of princely states. But seeing the conditions, situation, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel trying to bring all the princely states together. Let's begin with the merging of Junagadh. Junagadh was a princely state in Saurashtra. As we all know, Saurashtra lies between the Gujarat and Maharashtra. So Junagadh belongs to Saurashtra. The people there wanted to merge with India. As we know, the people are now very much aware, and they are not in a plan or in an interest to be ruled under any government or system. But the Nawab of Junagadh of thinking of joining Pakistan. The people strongly opposed his decision, and the Nawab left for Pakistan. Later in February 1948, Junagadh got merged in India. So since Nawab was in a favor to join with Pakistan, but people opposed them, and in result, Nawab left for the Pakistan, and finally in February 1948, Junagadh got merged into India. So you can say Junagadh, the people of Junagadh got independence in year 1948 on February. Okay, it's clear for the Junagadh. Now let's begin with the Hyderabad. There are so much tensions related to the Hyderabad because the conditions that we had seen with the Junagadh, in the same way the Nizam of Hyderabad is also in favor of joining the Pakistan. And again, the people had started their movement and agitations against the Nizam. Hyderabad Mukti Sangram, a association was formed to fight against the Nizam. Hyderabad was the largest princely states in India. It included Telugu, Kannada, and Marathi speaking regions. So, as we all know, at that time we don't have a separate states. So, these the regions at the territories are divided on the basis of the language or on the basis of the rulers. So, if you talk about the Hyderabad, Hyderabad was among the largest princely states at that time, which includes Telugu, Kannada, and Marathi speaking territories. There was the autocratic rule of Nizam. What do you mean by autocratic? Autocratic, when you say when a person won't hear the voice of people, he ruled by his own self, right? That's why the people are called as the dictators. There was an autocratic rule of the Nizam over these provinces. There were absence of civil and political rights. To secure these rights, the people formed organizations such as the Andhra Parishad in the Telangana region, Maharashtra Parishad in the Marathwada region, Karnataka Parishad in the Karnataka region. So in different places, the different organizations has been established to raise their voice, to fight against the injustice. In 1938, Swami Ramanand Tirth formed the Hyderabad State Congress. The Nizam banned this organization as Nizam doesn't want anyone to stand against him, so he banned this organization. A struggle began for getting recognition to Hyderabad State Congress and democratic rights. So people are still fighting to get the power or the status for the Hyderabad State Congress. This struggle was led by a militant fighter, Swami Ramanand Tirth. He was assisted by Narayan Reddy. What assisted? Got support from Narayan Reddy and Siraj ul Hasan Timirji. P.V. Narasimha Rao and Govind Bhai Shroff were the faithful followers of Swamiji. So there are so many people who followed the path of Swamiji, but these people being the loyal followers of the Swamiji. So you can underline the name who assisted Swami Ramanand Tirth. They are Narayan Reddy and Siraj ul Hasan Timirji. And who are the faithful followers of Swamiji? P.V. Narasimha Rao and Govind Bhai Shroff. So these are the important people. They worked for the independence of Hyderabad. In July 1947, Hyderabad State Congress passed a resolution for merger of Hyderabad state into India. So finally, a resolution. Resolution means a demand has been raised by the people that Hyderabad will get merged. What is merge? Merge means to join, merge with India. But the Nizam was against such decision. However, Nizam took an anti-India stand. Anti means against, opposed. He started making movements for merging of Hyderabad state with Pakistan. And in the same way, Nizam was planning to merge the Hyderabad with Pakistan. To reject the demand of people of Hyderabad to be merged with India, Qasim Rizvi, an associate of the Nizam, formed an organization known as Razakar. So to stop such kind of movement, to stop such kind of agitation, Nizam's associate named Qasim Rizvi, he formed an organization named Razakar, so that once the people movement has been crushed, then he with the help of Nizam can able to merge Hyderabad with the Pakistan. Qasim Rizvi and his associates not only oppressed the Hindus but also the Muslims who supported the democratic movement. So even they are not against the Hindus, but also the Muslims who supported the idea of getting merging Hyderabad with the India. Since they are against the merging of Hyderabad with India, they had raised their issues against such Muslims also. Due to it, there was inflammation of public opinion. So people are very much angry of such decision. The government of India tried to negotiate patiently. So in the beginning, the Indian government tried to negotiate. What to negotiate? To discuss, to talk with the Nizam in a very patient way, in a very calm way. But when the situation get worse, finally the Indian government ordered police force so that Nizam should be stopped and he should be removed from the Hyderabad. The government of India tried to negotiate. What a negotiate, discussion, talk patiently, very cool and calmly with the Nizam, but he refused to respond. Nizam was never in a thought to talk with the Indian government. At last, the Indian government started the police action against the Nizam on 13th September 1948. So finally, almost after a year of India's independence, the Nizam's rule has been ended in Hyderabad on 17th September 1948. It was symbolically named as Operation Polo. The police action that taken against the Nizam was named as Operation Polo. Please underline it. Finally, the Nizam surrendered on 17 September 1948 and the state of Hyderabad was merged with the India. The struggle for people in the princely states became successful. There was significant contribution of Arya Samaj in this movement. So in this way, finally, the people got independence from the autocratic rule of Nizam. So let's see the contribution of Marathwada in the struggle for liberation of Hyderabad. As we had seen, so many different organizations were formed to for the liberation of Hyderabad. So what was the important contribution done with the Marathwada Association? In this struggle, Swami Ramanand Tirth, Govind Bhai Shroff, Anand Balerao, Ashatai Wagmare, these people made a valuable contribution for this struggle. Through the movement of Vande Mataram, students participated in the struggle for liberation of Hyderabad. Even students supported this movement and a movement called Vande Mataram, and under this movement they fought for the liberation of Hyderabad. Similarly, in this struggle, Ved Prakash, Shyamlal, Govind Pansare, Bahirji Shinde, Sridhar Vartak, Janardhan Mama, Shoaib Ullah Khan, etc. embraced martyrdom. These are the few people who sacrificed their life for the liberation of Hyderabad or for the welfare of people. So they got martyrdom. Their sacrifice proved to be inspirational to the Indians, as we had always seen. If any person lost their life for the welfare of the citizen or for the country, it becomes an inspirational or motivation for others. Their sacrifice proved to be inspirational to the Indians. Thus, we can understand that the leaders and the people in Marathwada had a lion's share in the struggle for liberation of Hyderabad. So, in this way, we had seen the people had contributed a lot for the struggle of Hyderabad. 17th September, the day when Hyderabad got independence or got relief from the Nizam, is celebrated as Marathwada Mukti Din in Marathwada to commemorate. What is a commemorate? Commemorate when we celebrate something in the remembrance of any great event. The struggle for liberation of Hyderabad. Marathwada was not influenced in Free India on 15th of August 1947. After the inspiring struggle of the people, this region was included in independent India in 1948. So, as we had seen, our country got independence in the year 1947 on 15th of August, but the people from Hyderabad got independence in the year 1948. So, with the huge struggle, with the so many people sacrificed their life, finally we had seen Hyderabad got independence. And our last princely states left, that was the Kashmir. As we had seen already, the options given for the princely states to join either Pakistan or India, Kashmir decided to remain self-independent. And since we been a good neighbor, we assured them for any kind of help if they needed. But at the same time, Pakistan forced Kashmir to join them. Since Kashmir refused Pakistan not to join with Pakistan, Pakistan attacked on Kashmir, and to get help from India, the ruler of Kashmir took support from India, and then he signed the instrument of accession, and Indian government supported military help to Kashmir. So this was the story that was seen, that how Pakistan trying to forcefully capture the Kashmir. At that time, the ruler of Kashmir was Hari Singh. He was very much in favor of India's support, and that's why the Kashmir got merged into India. The problem of Kashmir. Hari Singh, the ruler of the state of Kashmir, had decided to remain independent. Pakistan had intended to secure the merger of Kashmir with Pakistan. Pakistan always forced Kashmir to get merged with Pakistan. Due to this, Pakistan started putting pressure on Hari Singh. At the instigation of Pakistan, armed intruders attacked Kashmir in October 1947. So when Hari Singh refused to join with Pakistan, Pakistan soldiers attacked Kashmir on October 1947. At that time, Hari Singh signed the instrument of accession with India. In this manner, after merging into India, Indian army was sent for the defense of Kashmir. To support Kashmir, Indian army were sent. The army won back a major portion of Kashmir from the possession of intruders, but some part of it remained in the possession of Pakistan. As we all know, when our army attacked the Pakistani forces, at that time few territories were captured by the Pakistani forces, and still they have a small portion of Kashmir. That region is still called as the POK. If you have remembered, you have heard it so many places. POK means Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Okay. So in this way, finally the Kashmir also became the part of India. Now let's see the merger of French colonies. As we had seen, few territories like Yemen, Mahe, Karaikal, these are the Pondicherry, these are the few territories were under the control of French rulers. How it got merged into India. Even after the independence of India, the regions of Chandranagar, Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahe, Yanam were in the possession of the French. The Indian natives there were eager to get merged with India. As we all know, the people all over the country want complete independence. They don't want to be ruled by any other foreign aggressor or any other king or rulers. The Indian government demanded that their territories being a part of India should be handed over to it, and we also demanded with the French rulers that these territories should be handed over to India. In 1949, France held a plebiscite in Chandranagar. What is plebiscite? Plebiscite means a kind of voting. It's a kind of voting options. So when this voting options provided, and there has been a certain kind of assembly polls managed, at that time the people opted that they are willing to join the Indian government. In 1949, France held a plebiscite in Chandranagar. The people voted for India. Chandranagar was handed over to India. Therefore, France handed over the rest of the territories to the government of India. So in this way, finally, all the territories that were ruled by the French was given to the Indian government. Now let's take a look of the liberation struggle that are carried out at Goa. It is also a very hard struggle that Indians got the territory of Goa from the Portuguese rulers. Portugal denied, they refused to hand over the territories under his possession to India. As we all know, most of the parts are ruled by the Britishers. There are few parts ruled by the French, and the only Goan territory was ruled by the Portuguese. So they refused to hand over the Goan territory to India. Indians had to struggle for securing this territory, and we started the struggle. In this struggle, Dr. T.B. Kuna was in the forefront. There are so many people who fight for the struggle of Goa, or even many people sacrifice their life. Out of that, Dr. T.B. Kuna was in forefront. He worked to bring about an awakening of the people against the Portuguese government. So he worked for the awakening of people. What is the awakening of people? Awareness, with the objective of building struggle against the Portuguese. He established the Goa Congress Committee. So to bring people together to make his movement strong, he established a Goa Congress Committee. Later in 1945, Dr. T.B. Kuna founded the organization Goa Youth League in Mumbai. In 1946, he went to Goa and violated the ban on public speech. Since the Portuguese ruler doesn't want that any public meetings or any public get together happens in Goa, so they had banned so much movements or even the speeches. But Dr. T.B. Kuna went to Goa and he gave his inspirational speech to the people, and he violated the ban. What do violated? To break law that has been put for the speech. For this, he was sentenced to 8 years of imprisonment, and since he had break down the law, he was sent to the jail, or he was sent to the prison for 8 years. In 1946, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia started a satyagraha for liberation of Goa. Another important youth leader named Ram Manohar Lohia, he started the movement in the year 1946 for the liberation of Goa. Violating the ban, he also violated the ban. He delivered a public speech at a place called Madgaon in Goa. For these, the Portuguese government deported him. And for this act, he was deported from Goa. Deported means when you are removed from that territory and you are not allowed to enter that territory, that is called deport. During the same period, the Azad Gomantak Dal was founded to liberate Portuguese colony of Dadra and Nagar Haveli in Gujarat. Even at that time, a few island territories are also under the control of Portuguese, like Dadra and Nagar Haveli. It's near Gujarat. So, Gomantak Dal, Azad Gomantak Dal was formed so that they should get liberate to this Portuguese colony. On 2nd August 1954, youths of Azad Gomantak Dal, by making an armed attack, liberated the territories of Dadra and Nagar Haveli from Portuguese rule. Vishwanath Lavande, Raja Bhau Wakankar, Sudhir Phadke, Nana Saheb Kazrekar, and others took part in this attack. So these are the few important leaders who took part in this movement. In 1954, Goa Mukti Samiti was formed to get a complete independence for Goa from Portuguese rule. The Samiti sent many batches of satyagrahis from Maharashtra to Goa, and this organization trying to send the people in different batches, in different groups, or the satyagrahis, so that they can start their protest in Goa. N.G. Gore, Senapati Bapat, Peter Alvarez, Mahadev Shastri Joshi and his wife Shudatai, and many other participated in the satyagraha. Mohan Ranade was an aggressive leader in the struggle for liberation of Goa. The Portuguese rulers committed unlimited tyranny and atrocities on the satyagrahis. Due to this, the public opinion became more infuriated. The people are in very much aggression against the such rule of Portuguese. The struggle for liberation of Goa took up a fierce form, fierce in a strong form. The Indian government was patiently holding negotiations with the Portuguese government, but they did not respond. In the same way, we had seen the situation at Hyderabad. Here also, the government are trying to contact the Portuguese government and trying to make the situation clear. but the Portuguese government didn't responded to the Indian government, and they are not willing to free Goa. And finally, Indians sent the army forces to the liberation of Goa. At the end, the Indian government unwillingly, without wish, because Indian government doesn't want any kind of war situation in Goa. At the end, the Indian government unwillingly took the decision of using military force. In December 1961, the Indian army entered Goa. In a short period of time, the Portuguese army surrendered. On 19th December 1961, Goa was liberated from Portuguese dominion. Dominion means control. So finally, Goa got independent on 19 December 1961. So when there is any national level celebration, they celebrate Independence Day on the 15th of August. But when they had any kind of state celebration, they celebrate their Independence Day on 19th of December 1961, because Goa was got independence from Portuguese on 19 December 1961. Finally, imperialism was completely rooted out from the Indian soil. What do we mean imperialism? Imperialism means the foreign aggression or the foreign rule, or you can say when a powerful kingdom ruled another territories. It is called as the imperialism. India's freedom struggle was truly fulfilled, and in this way, we had seen finally all the territories of our country has been independent and they got their power. Let's begin with the exercise. There were more than 600 small and big dash in India. What were there? Princely states. Yes, option C. All the princely states merged with India except the state of Junagadh, Dash and Kashmir, which were three: Junagadh, Hyderabad and Kashmir. Option D. Explain the following statement with reason. Junagadh merged with India. Why Junagadh merged with India? Because the Nizam of Junagadh was not in a favor of joining India. He was trying to get the merger of the merger of Junagadh with Pakistan. But the people were against the Nizam and they want to join with the Indian government. Seeing the situation, now Nawab left for the Pakistan, and finally Junagadh merged with India. The Indian government started police action against the Nizam. After neg- uh, negotiating patiently with the Nizam, and Nizam doesn't responded in a proper manner, finally government had taken the police action with Nizam, and Nizam surrendered. In this way, the Nizam lost the battle against the police or the government, and in this way government needs to take the police action with the Nizam. Hari Singh signed the instrument of accession with India. As we had seen, Hari Singh, the ruler of Kashmir, wants to stay independent, but Pakistani forces already forced him and attacked the Kashmir. So, in this way, to get the support from India, Hari Singh signed the instrument of accession with India. Explain the contribution of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in the integration of princely states. As we had seen, after the independence, the issues of princely states were remain still same. The thoughts or belief of the complete nation was still incomplete, because there were more than 600 princely states and they were given the choice to be independent or to join India or Pakistan. So at that time, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel very diplomatically convinced the ruler of princely states to join India, and in this way he tried to bring the unity of India. Explain the contribution of Swami Ramanand Tirth in the struggle for liberation of Hyderabad. As we had seen, the situation of Hyderabad was getting critical, and there were so many different organizations or movements were started at that time for the liberation of Hyderabad. Swami Ramanand Tirth, along with his associates and the follower, he formed the different movements and organization so that the Hyderabad should get the complete independence from the autocratic rule of Nizam. Clear? So in this way we had seen our all parts or our all territories got free from the different rulers, and now we can say our country is completely independent in true sense, whether maybe it's the Britishers or the Portuguese, or you can say the French powers. So we had seen it has been a long journey for us to get complete independence. Okay, thank you everyone.